G'day guys, it's Mel at Ride-Tek here. Just going to have a look at a few of the little exercises that we normally use for our learner riders, just for skills development. So we're going to have a look at the slow ride first. This is one of the exercises that we practice on our learner permit course, the slow ride. And the reason we do this is we're simulating that we're in heavy traffic. We're on the freeway, peak hour, traffic's moving along at very low speed, probably walking speed or less. So we need to learn to control the bike at low speeds and keep it in a relatively straight line. So what we're going to do, we're going to ride through this long box here. And because it's a slow ride, we're only going to need first gear. We won't need anything other than first gear. And what we're going to do, the speed is controlled by using our clutch and our throttle together. So what we do with the clutch is we find what we call the friction point. If you watch what I'm doing here, just easing the clutch out slowly. And we get to the point where the bike starts to creep forward on its own. If I pull the clutch in again, squeeze the front brake, the bike stops. With that clutch movement, that's what we call the friction point. We get that point where the clutch is just starting to take up its drive, it starts to drive the bike forward, and we lock that on there. So what we're actually doing is we're riding the clutch on that friction point. We need a little bit of throttle, because if we're trying to regulate a clutch and we don't have any throttle at all, every chance that we'll stall. So it's using the clutch on that friction point and a little bit of throttle. A little bit of rear brake also at low speeds. If you need to regulate your speed a little bit more, you can do that using the rear brake pretty effectively. So that's how the speed's controlled. First gear, friction point with the clutch, a little bit of throttle. And to keep the bike balanced and keep it in a straight line, the secret to doing that with all exercises that you do on a motorcycle is looking up. Try not to look down at the ground in front of us, looking at the box or anything like that. If we were doing this in the real world, we're in a long line of traffic, ideally our eye direction would be looking all the way up to the very end of that line of traffic. So that's what we're going to try and do here. We try and keep our eyes up as much as we can. But I want you to watch the first couple of times through what I actually do with the clutch, and I'll try and show you what I'm doing with a little bit of throttle control as well. You might be able to hear the increased engine revs. So we're in first gear. We're ready to go. We get nice and relaxed with the hands and arms and shoulders. We look up and we set off as we would normally. Get the bike rolling and then squeeze the clutch in again. Ease it out. Find that friction point. We've got a little bit of throttle on and we've got a little bit of rear brake. Got the knees in close to the tank to help keep the bike balanced and in a straight line. And we're looking up. And that was pretty easy. So we'll go around and have another go at that. So when we're riding normally, the secret always keep the eyes up as much as you can. When you want to turn the bike, turn your head, look where you want the bike to go, and the bike will basically follow your eye direction. Okay, so we'll come back and we'll have another go at that. So I'm down to first gear. I stop, I put my foot down. Okay, looking up again, just try and watch. I'll try and angle the camera down a little bit so that you guys can see what I'm doing with the clutch and the throttle. So, we're ready to go, we're in first gear, we get the bike rolling as we would normally, squeeze the clutch in, ease it out again, find the friction point, little bit of throttle on, knees in close to the tank to keep the bike nice and straight. And when we want to go faster, just ease the clutch out, roll a little bit of throttle on, can change up to second gear now. Turning the head when we want the bike to turn. Okay, so that's a good little exercise for you to start to practice. It's one of the most neglected skills with riding. A lot of riders just want to concentrate on trying to ride fast, but controlling a bike at low speed is an art in itself. So get some practice with that, guys, and we'll look forward to seeing you at Ride-Tek soon. Okay, good luck with your riding.